If somebody says to me that they want a better future, but they cannot let go of something mentally that's hindering them from getting there. Oh, I can never do that because I keep hearing my mom or my dad say, you're never going to amount to anything. And I can sense that that's holding them back. That's not what I do as a coach. That's more of a psychotherapist or a counselor, something like that. So then I recommend Denise, who has worked with people all around the world. She worked with me and still works with me. She's a psychotherapist here in Southwest Florida, and I recommend Denise to them. I said, you know what, I'm not going to be able to help you get to that ambition until you solve for this thing that's holding you back, and I'm not qualified to do that. So I'm going to recommend you to a psychotherapist. Does that make sense? So it's really critical as we think this through from a success roadmap perspective for you and your business is to know what your specialty is, what you're known for, your high competency area is, and also to know what it isn't. And to be able to say, you know what, this isn't what we do, or this isn't exactly what we do, but I got somebody else for you, or you're going to have to research that. Here's the things you want to think about as you go to research that. Does that make sense? So it's just really critical if, and this is a premise, a kind of fundamental point I always make, if we want to work with great people doing great things, that we've aligned for that. You know, if I'm in a situational kind of, I call it a discovery session, where I'm just kind of discovering, hey, you know what, it sounds like you're struggling with this. Let's stop that discovery of your struggle. Let's move to the ambition. And I sense they live, we talked about this last session too, earlier today, this below the line behavior. They live too far in the land of blame, excuse, denial, gossip, drama, neutral negative energy. Maybe not all those traits, but one or two. They're like chronically in that space. I'm like, is this situational for you to talk through the lens of blame, excuse, denial? And I'll call it out. And I don't blame, I'm not judging them, but I'm just calling it out. Yeah, blah, 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 and you can just sense the energy is there. Even if we solve for that, the energy is still there. That's not typically my customer. If they're in that blame, excuse, denial, acutely, meaning temporarily, because they're in a hurtful situation, and I can get them out of that. And so I'll ask questions like, if this stuff's solved, how are you going to feel? And if they're like, I'm going to blah, 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 I'm still going to blah, 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 like you can sense they're still going to live in a blame, excuse, denial, then they're probably not for me. But if they say, oh, if I get out of this, I'm going to feel so relieved. My life will be so much better. You can almost sense, it's a dance, it's a nuance, but you can almost sense that they'll transcend back to above the line behavior, ownership, accountability, responsibility, growth, ambition, positive overall energy. This is the really critical thing for you to understand is that people, when under strain, stress, and so forth, they may dip below the line. Customers may dip below the line, but you have to assess whether if you help them, they'll get above the line. If that thing showing up for them, that struggle, that challenge, frustration is holding them below the line, you have to assess, if I help you, will you get above the line? And can we have a continuity to our relationship? Anytime you can have a continuity to your relationship and how you serve them, that equals recurring revenue. That's a subscription.